Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Israel contract. There is specific information that I cannot tell you due to OPSEC. I cannot tell you the location of the base and other things. However, I can discuss things such as restaurants, uniforms, and things to do in the country of Israel. Now, first off, this contract pays $53,000 as of 2024, and the threat level is low to medium. And what that means is that some days it's very peaceful, it's quiet, it's very safe, and some days there's some occasional rocket attacks, maybe a threat from a knife attack or border skirmishes. But generally speaking, the country is very safe. So when it comes to training, you'll be staying at a small hotel on the facility, and you'll have access to the chow hall, which serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in my opinion, it's pretty good food. Now, for the actual training itself, you'll be going over tons and tons of PowerPoints, which some of them are pretty boring, some of them are interesting, and you go over like scenarios, and they'll show you like videos, what's going on in Israel, and stuff like that. You do tons of martial arts, which is actually very painful. You'll get it when you get there. The PT test consists of 19 push-ups and a 1.5 mile run within, I think it's 16 to 18 minutes. You'll be going and doing medical exams, so checking like your eyesight, your blood pressure. You get your shots done, and among a few other things. You go to the range, and you'll only be shooting rifles, not pistols, and you'll be doing a hazmat suit test, which is putting on a hazmat suit within just a few minutes, and you have to pass it. Or if you don't pass it, you fail the course, and you get sent home. And then, of course, you do tons and tons of paperwork. And at the end, you get a cert for all this. Living conditions. The living conditions are not too bad. You'll be staying in apartments in the city of Sheva. Sheva is a medium-sized city, so it's not too crowded, and there's some things to do there. The apartments that you'll be staying at have 3 workers per apartment, so you'll get your own room, but you'll have to either share a shower, or if you get the master bedroom, you have your own shower. And then there's like the living room, and there's a kitchen. Within the kitchen, there's a refrigerator, there's a microwave, there's a sink, and they'll give you like dishes and stuff. So it's not too bad. And then you also have a washer and dryer. So when it comes to food, unfortunately, you'll have to go and buy your own food and cook your own food. There's no chow hall as part of this contract. However, there's many markets, there's many different grocery stores nearby that you can purchase food. As you see in this picture, this is just an example of one of the grocery stores that you can purchase food in, but most likely the ones in your area are very small, like little markets and little grocery stores. But there's tons of other places to get food. Now there's some pictures I have for you guys so you can look at some of the food. One of the big things they eat over there, which is a type of a burrito, if you would say, is shawarma. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but it's pretty good over there. I like it. One of my favorite desserts that you can get anywhere, but mostly, the best one you can get is in Jerusalem, called Knaffe, and this stuff is amazing, absolutely amazing. But, the Israelis, they have their own little candies and cookies and stuff and soups. You can also find American food there. They do have buffets. They're going to have stuff like McDonald's and KFC. So it's a mixture of different cultures and different types of food. You're going to get Arab food, Jewish food, European food, American food, you name it. I mean, there's sushi places there. There's Chinese places there. So I think you're going to be pretty content when it comes to the food. Sheva Entertainment. So when it comes to entertainment in the city of Sheva, there's a few things that you can do. One of them is going to the clubs. So these clubs are pretty decent. So you have the Forum, which is like the big famous one there, and then you have Baraka, which is a little bit smaller, but I personally think it's a little bit better for me. But your opinion can be different. I do warn you in Baraka's, just don't get super drunk because they will steal your stuff. As for restaurants, there's lots and lots of different restaurants. Some examples I'll give you is Nafis, Kumpai, the library, Golden Goose, and there's like many others like KFC and like McDonald's if you wanted that. As for bars, there's the Doctor, Rosa, and Northern Train Bar. And of course, there's malls, there's movie theaters like Cinema City, and there's shopping areas, and there's parks they can go to. And of course, if you like to lift weights, there's gyms. Now, if you want to explore outside of Beersheba, there's a lot of things to do and a lot of cities to go to as well. So, Jerusalem, which is the capital of Israel, it's a very old city, so it's more traditional, more conservative type, more religious type. I recommend that you go to the Western Wall, you go to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and you go to this market, which I will provide because I cannot pronounce the name. Now, while you're in Jerusalem, be careful when you go to the markets because they scam you a lot. So if they see that you're like American or you're a Westerner, they'll try to bump up the prices because they think you have a bunch of money. But you can, bargain with them, negotiate and stuff like that. But I recommend pulling money out before you go to Jerusalem because they will do whatever they can do to scam you for money. Another city is Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is more westernized, more modern. So it's a little bit more progressive, if you would say. But they have some really nice beaches over there, and they have tons and tons of events and restaurants that you can go to have some fun. Now, on the very eastern part of Israel is the Dead Sea. I highly recommend that you go to the Dead Sea because it feels great getting into that water when it's hot and able to float without sinking, and it helps make your skin feel more silky and stuff. So that's something I definitely recommend you hit up. And if you had to pick between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, I would pick Jerusalem. Down below in the south is Eilat. Eilat is kind of like the Miami version of Israel. So they have some really nice beaches down there. It does get like very, very hot in the summertime, so you're going to have to jump in that water. These pictures make it look like a very awesome place. It's not as great in person, but there's tons of shops, there's tons of hotels with buffets, tons of bars and clubs down there, so you'll have a lot of fun while you're down there. Now, if you're thinking about traveling outside of Israel, there's multiple locations you can go to. So Europe is like really close, so it's like a few hour flight. You can go there very cheaply on your time off. And then next door is Jordan. Jordan has Petra. Petra is extremely beautiful. I've personally been there. I highly recommend that you go to Petra. Nearby is also Egypt, where you can go see the pyramids. Now, I do warn you, due to the fighting in Gaza, you cannot really travel to some of these locations with a Israeli visa or stamp. So I do warn you. Uniforms and equipment. So your uniforms are kind of basic in a way. You'll be given a bunch of uniforms when you get there. It may take you a month or two before you get your shirt with your name tag on it. But like when it comes to like your pants, they're customizable. They have to be tan or like a coyote tan, but you can have different brands of pants as well as boots. Your hat kind of has to be the same what they give you. You might be able to wear a hat with a patch on it and put like a TC patch on there. But for your shirt, you have to wear the shirt that they give you that has a bunch of pictures, a bunch of patches on it, which is kind of silly looking, but you just have to deal with that. As for the equipment, you do carry a rifle, no pistol. You'll be carrying a duty belt with mags on it, with a flashlight. And you'll have a baton for, self-defense in case it comes to that. Additional information and final thoughts. The Israel contract is considered a vacation contract. This means, by our definition, that the work is super easy and the area is generally safe. Now, you'll be making $53,000 per year. Half of that is per diem, which means it's tax-free. If you stay a whole year, it's tax-free. So you'll make a pretty decent amount of money over there. Israel itself is generally not cheap, but it's not expensive. It depends on where you go and what you do. The working shift hours are 8 to 12, depending on how many workers are there. You do not get paid for overtime, and you do not get paid for off time or going overseas or whatever to a different country. So you get paid when you work. There are rumors of hazard and danger pay, and the equipment is very basic. My final thoughts on the contract: I like the contract. I thought I had a really good time. I recommend it, and if I needed to go overseas for some quick cash, I would go to Israel once again. Now, I'm trying to make additional videos just like this for other countries and other contracts. So please like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. Thank you, guys.